All right, so I think what I'm gonna do now is create a little bit more development. And I might extend over here a little bit. Before we do that, it looks like we have a few assets that have burned down. And this situation has happened before, and instead of going in and replacing the assets, I want to go in and place a disaster response unit somewhere. And this is a pretty large building, and I'm thinking I might place it over here in the industrial area because I really want there to be a transition back over here to commercial and residential in the future, and this is going to aid in that. So now that we have that in place, I think we should be able to go in, zoom in down to this campsite. Then I think eventually this can be rebuilt. We're going to allow some time for the game to recognize, and I think I need to basically just run water over here. Now that that has water, let's go in and see if we can fix this. So as you can see, they're there doing their thing, and they checked for survivors, and now we can rebuild this. So let's do that over here. It's pretty cool watching them do that. Yeah. Interesting, yeah, and they fly off and then that icon appears and then you can rebuild it. So wherever we see this, we can come back and just rebuild these instead of having to demolish it and rebuild the asset that way. I think we have a few more over here as well. I want to check in on this. So it says we don't have any passenger traffic. Okay, now it's up to 115. Okay, interesting. And then over here, it seems like this is operating very well. We're definitely getting lots of cargo usage over here. And yeah, just the city seems to be functioning a lot better. I'm gonna slow things down a little bit. So through here, I think what I might do is extend this road over here somewhere like that. And again, I'm not a fan of this cross section here. I'm gonna upgrade this road through here. And we're gonna use the 4-lane road with decorative trees and bicycle lanes. And then we'll continue this up this way. And we'll likely need to make some improvements through here as well, but for the time being, I'm going to leave that alone. And sever the power here, and that's an issue, so let's get that connected back up. And then this should all be happy here in a second. Yeah, perfect. So it looks like we have a little bit of a worker issue, and I think that's a function of our population. We definitely have a lot of population demand. So let's come back over here, turn on topography, and get something that can line up over this way. So I'm going to use the sloping tool. Let's zoom up from this perspective. So we need to come from up here and meet up somewhere down in here. So I'm just going to slope up like this. And then we'll get our cross section here. Then I want to find a good spot where we can tie in. Maybe somewhere along in here. And we'll stub out a 90-degree straight section. And then see if we can come up and find that guideline and then tie up like that. Excellent. And then while we're here, I might get another road that goes around the backside of the nature reserve. So let's check out the terrain on that. Ooh, and that's pretty tricky. This might be a much more significant workaround, which might be a good thing because it will allow us to expand the nature reserve here in the future. So for this, I'm going to use the gravel roads to help plan the roadway out. So I think we need to come in from about here and come up to roughly this contour line and swoop around this way. How does that grade look? That's not too bad. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Although it is pretty hilly through here. I'm going to redo this section. We'll back it up to about there, and then we'll get our slope terrain tool, grab this height up here, and then get something that sweeps up this way. Yeah, much better, much better. Okay, all right, let's upgrade this roadway segment. Yeah, and that looks pretty reasonable considering that we just created a 4-lane arterial through here. And before we develop anything over here, I'm thinking I might add in a little bit more residential over here in this area. And we already have 2 connections here pretty close to each other, so I don't think I'm going to add in a third. So we'll use our favorite cross section here that encourages biking and walking as well as having trees. Then let's find something that maybe about here. I think that should be good. Then we'll come to about there, tie in there. And then through here, I want to provide good separation between the highway and this new road that we're building. So I want to come to roughly here, then we'll create a connection between here and here. And I think what we'll do is we'll come here and stub something out like this. That is pretty close, but I'm going to allow that for the time being because we're not going to really widen things through here. But we probably can fit in a little bit more development through here. Let's come to about, say, this point. We'll provide an access point there, then a stub out like that. We're going to add in some residential all throughout here. And then maybe we'll have like just a little bit of commercial right here, and then do residential for the rest of the area. All right, and I want to get in some sound walls next to the highway and plant some trees through here. Yeah, and this looks way better, way better. All right, we do need water through here, so... All right, excellent. And I think we could probably put a park in over here, maybe like a dog park. Let's do a large playground. I think that will fit in nicely there. Then let's take a look at our fire coverage. And it looks like we don't have any fire coverage over here, so I want to place a fire station somewhere, and I think maybe this might be a good spot. Nothing's developed here yet, and this provides access directly onto Grove Street as well as Richardson Street. I do want to get a few trees in here along the bike path as well. And also I think I'm going to put a park in right here as well. All right, excellent. I'm curious, can we get rid of a few of these power lines? Maybe not for the time being. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah, and this feels so much better. Like, imagining being on a bike and coming through here and having a nice like shaded facility. Oh, cool. Our nature reserve went up to level 5. We get bouldering sites. Excellent. I'll take that. All right, so I do want to provide some connectivity over here as well. And I'm wondering if I should just connect up these two segments of road. All right, so let's create a curve that comes over about here and meets up roughly like that. Then I'm going to back this up and sever the power. Get that connected back up. Okay. Then let's see if we can get something that ties in over here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so I want to think about some development through here. And I think what we probably will do is have maybe like a little downtown district through here, like of commercial and maybe some office spaces, then have residential on each side. So I want to find something that's roughly in the midpoint over here. Maybe this would be a good spot. And if we come out roughly 20 units, and then can we meet up here? That might be too far. Let's go the halfway point here. We'll come out 20 units and then we'll create a connection like this. Then I am gonna come over 10 units. I think that's 10. I think it's, okay, it's actually 8. So I think that'll be good. We'll come out to here and tie up. Do the same thing on this side. So now we have a nice parallel facility through here. Then we'll create a couple connector roads like that. Then we can bring these off just in this general direction a little ways. So what was that? That was 1860. That was 1800. So if we do 1860, that's there. Okay. And then here, we'll extend this down 1860 as well. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Just trying to get like a little funky grid system in here. And I'm gonna extend this out to here and tie up with this arterial right here. Then I think what we might do through here is create like a little park here on the corner. All right, now I'm pretty pleased with that. So the goal here is to have like a little commercial area, then residential on each side with probably a park over here. Through here, I'm trying to limit the access points that are happening with the arterial right here and the one over here. I do want to get a connection right through here. And I think it's okay if we meet up not exactly at a 90-degree angle. I think that should be fine. So through here, I might have a couple little areas of dense commercial, as well as a little bit of office space. Let's try to change some of the land uses and have low density commercial along through here. Then maybe through here we can have a little bit of high density residential. So I'm kind of viewing this area as like a little planned development, and then maybe we can have a little bit more high density residential right here, and a little bit through here. Then the rest will do just low density residential. And before this builds out too much further, I do want to get in a medical clinic. So let's get that centrally located, and a fire station. So let's have the fire station be right there. And we probably could use another elementary school. So let's place the elementary school right here. And then we're definitely going to need power over here. That is that is a must. So for the time being, I'm going to run the power line across over here, then down this way. And I don't know, yeah, why is this all, yeah, I'm so confused by that. So now we just need water. So it looks like we have water coming down this road, so we'll just piggyback off that and get something through here. And I see one road connection I do want to make, which is right here. Okay, excellent. It looks pretty good. Pretty pleased with that. Then let's take a look at our junctions here. Don't need a signal there, nor here, nor here, nor here. We'll keep that one, and we'll keep that one, and I think we can keep that one as well. Then sort of the same thing over here. So yeah, this will act as like a little sort of like suburban planned community, because this is like the core of our city over here, where we're starting to really have some more high density usage. Then over here, you know, we're starting to get land uses spread out and getting more cul-de-sacking, even though I personally don't enjoy cul-de-sacking, but I'm going to try and limit it as much as possible. Like even here, you could at least have a connection out. I'm not going to have roads that just like dead end, even though these do right now. The intent here is not to develop, then have it dead end. We're going to have it connect in somehow over here. But that's going to be like phase 2 of this area. Let's check in back with our cargo terminals. So from over here, we are really suffering from a not enough workers situation. And hopefully some of the population over here will help out with that. Over here, things are better. And I think this is a function of this industrial area is just way, way, way far away from the core of our city. But the cargo train terminal over here has definitely seen a decrease in its usage, which is probably a function of this one probably being utilized more. And traffic through here seems much more manageable. Then let's check in over here. This one's getting utilized, and the circulatory system here is working great. Yeah, and traffic is just like way better. At the end of this episode, I want to take a look and see how traffic is. So the passenger harbor seems like it's being utilized, even though it says 0 passengers last week. I think that is not necessarily capturing everything. Then here, this is definitely functioning well. Excellent. So I want to check in on our forestry industry. It looks like we don't have enough raw materials, so I'm going to add in a few more tree farms. And it looks like that helped things out. And it seems we have a death care related issue. Let's take a look at death care. So cemetery usage is halfway, and our crematorium availability seems pretty good. I wonder if it's just a matter of coverage. So crematoriums and death care seems to be heavily focused over here. We need to place one probably this general area. That'll help things out. We definitely need one over here somewhere. Let's see if we can find a spot to place this. I think right there should be good. We have a cemetery here. We'll empty that to create more room, which is just kind of weird that the game does that, but we need one probably over here as well, because I saw that there were some issues. So we can place this one maybe adjacent to the highway. Let's do that right there. Then we'll need one over here in our community as well. So maybe we can place this one close to the arterial here, and that I think would be a good spot. and the wave of happiness of a crematorium. So odd, so odd. Not enough educated workers. Let's take a look at our education. So elementary school, we're doing great. High school, great. And university, great. Don't really know what to do there. Yeah, a little puzzled by that. Maybe what we can do is add in a few community schools to help bolster some of the education that is needed. So let's add in a community school right there. That should help out that part of the community. Oh, and I don't think we have anything over here. Yeah, we don't. And we also need a crematorium over here as well. So maybe this would be a good spot over here for a elementary school. Then let's take a look at where we can place maybe a crematorium. I wonder if we can fit this in right there. All right, I want to take a look at our budget. I've noticed throughout the episode, we've been in the negative, then we're in the positive, and some of this is a function of the industry's DLC. So where are our largest expenses? So education is definitely the highest expense. Then some of our policies are causing us to have some issues with our budget, but I think overall things are okay for right now. I'm going to increase the tax intake on our high density uses and office buildings to 12% because the game can handle that without the Sims being upset. And that's going to help things out since we do have some high density usages over here and then over here. And I noticed at the beginning of the episode, our population was just over 42,000 people, and it's dropped significantly. So that is kind of puzzling to me because I think everything else looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any nasty grams with the notifications elsewhere in the city, and our population is climbing now. So I think things should be getting better. And it's peculiar to me. Okay, I was about to say, you have an incineration plant right here. There's not a lot of traffic, and this was complaining. And the Garments Limited was complaining of not having garbage collection. This looks good. Pleased with that. I'm really happy with how this is looking. And population values are increasing. Wonder if we can get in a little bit of residential over here, just to help out this industrial area. So I think what I'm gonna do is create a little buffer of commercial through here and add a few homes here along the hillside. And I'm going to make the entrances and exits here on this arterial one way in and one way out. So here we'll do exiting, and then over here we'll have one going in. And then let's maybe have this be right here. And then we'll connect up over here with a much more substantial connection for providing access to this part of the arterial over here and then over here as well. And our grades are kind of hilly through here, but I think it should be okay. So I'm purposely not connecting here to help out with our traffic flow. We'll extend this over. Yeah, and that's not too bad. I am going to soften the terrain right through here though. Oh, not that, not that. Just kind of trying to smooth things out so that when we develop through here, it will look a little bit better. Then I might come off another at $600. So we'll come here and create another little block. Then here's where we'll tie into our arterial. And I really want to get this right at a 90, at least as close as I can. So I'm going to cut off everything except angle. That's about as close as I can get it over there. And I think over here we can cut back on our guidelines, and that looks pretty good. So we're trying to limit access along the arterial. So we have just one way in, one way out here, and then a two-way connection here and here. All right, so let's zone through here. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of office up here at the front. Then we'll have a little bit of commercial, low density commercial through here. And then the rest we'll do as residential. And before we do that, I wanna get some of our mainstay facilities in, like a crematorium, a medical clinic. Probably could use a police station in this part of the build. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything over here, so we'll just do a small police station. This will be kind of like our service area over here. And then we definitely need fire coverage. I think we don't have any fire over here. Yeah, so let's get in a firehouse over here as well. I'm gonna place it along there, and then I'm gonna do another one right here. We desperately need water through here, so I'm gonna get that connected up. And there's some redundancy there with the water piping and everything, but that should be fine. All right, and this is bugging me. We're gonna get rid of that section, then connect up here, and then we'll tie into the arterial. Then we'll just do Residential all through there. Oh, we're missing water over here in general. Oh, we have a water problem. Okay, I see. Things are happening. And I think I'm gonna start adding in some water pump stations over here. Yeah, that looks good. That is pretty wild. All that like suction there, that's pretty intense. Then just to make me happy, I'm going to add in just like a little road here if I can, just to pretend that there's some sort of service happening here. Oh, and it's not liking it. Let's see if I can get something along the backside here. Yeah, I think there's a grade issue here. All right, well, we'll leave that for the time being. I might add a little road in there in the future, but that should help us out. So we do need some additional sewage treatment. We'll put in one of these eco-advanced water treatment facilities. I think we could probably do that in here. Let's do 2. Why not? And that should have us covered. Excellent. So we're seeing some growth over here, and that is looking really good. We have a fire there, but I think that will be okay. Do we have garbage collection over here? And it looks like we don't. So since this is a industrial area, I'm going to add in some garbage collection. I'm probably going to take out a couple businesses just so I can get something more centrally located. So let's put that there, and that should help serve this part of this little new development over here. So over here you have industrial, then you have office, and then you have some commercial. Then this is acting as a buffer for our residential, so they're not being impacted by the pollution. And then let's check over here back at this development, and this is filled in quite nicely. I like this. It's like a little mini city in itself. And I think it's planned in a responsible way, where you have some more intense land uses here in the center that encourages walkability. We have bike facilities and sidewalks, and that's great. We also have some low density usages that are kind of acting as like a taper down around the development. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with that. All right, so I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We've accomplished a lot, and we're almost back up to 42,000 people, which is where we started the episode at, and our population is just booming right now. So I'm not really too concerned about that. I do want to take a look at our traffic just to see how we're doing. And right now we're at 78%. I thought honestly that would be higher. And this is starting to back up again, but there's only so much I think I can do through here. And then we have a few pinch points here, and that's, I think, a function of the development that we have created over here. Then same thing over here. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how things are turning out. And before we close out today's episode, I think we might get in some additional power. So I'm curious if we could get maybe one of these ocean thermal energy conservation facilities. $250,000. Let's try it. So that's going to generate 480 megawatts of power. That's pretty awesome. I'm just going to run something down here temporarily because we are going to place a harbor down here. Just to appease me, I'm going to get a road that comes down here to the water pumps, even though it's not needed. I do want to make sure that this is connecting up. How bad of a grade is that? Too bad. I'm not gonna do that. That's, yeah, not acceptable. So for the time being, I'm just gonna run a power line that goes down from here down to here. And that should help us out with our power. And our population is back up to about where we started at the beginning of the episode, and things are looking good here. And as you can see, we are starting to really grow here, and our port over here is having lots of activity with ships coming in and out. The traffic in here is starting to back up again a little bit, but I think that is okay. We'll take a look at that in the future. The main thing is that we're spreading out some of our cargo usages with the cargo terminal here, another one over here for this area, and then another one over here for this area as well. So all in all, I'm really pleased with how things are going, but I think that's going to do it for today's episode. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please think about doing so. That would be really, really awesome, and it'll help me out a ton. Also, if you're enjoying my videos, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. That also really helps me out as well. But I'm looking forward to seeing you all back here in Canarsie, which is our tutorial city. But until the next one, I hope y'all are doing well, and we'll see you then. All right, take care. Bye.